Coach, just what were your overall thoughts for tonight's win?
I thought we played really, really hard. I thought we played very connected. We wanted to get to the basket and points in the paint. 52 points in the paint is a large number. I thought we did a really good job rebounding the basketball tonight, and those were 2 points of emphasis coming into the game. Thought we did a good job not settling from the perimeter. Bench play was excellent. Jalen Graham's had great matchups tonight, and he certainly capitalized big time from an offensive standpoint. And then I thought Jalen did a really good job on the glass with 7 boards and 2 block shots. So overall, really, really good performance by a lot of guys across the board. Happy, especially, we've talked a lot about how historically we've been so good in the second half. And for whatever reason this year, in the games we've lost, we have not been good in the second half. And what's the reason for that? Because we're talking about the same things
Jalen, you've
we
obviously
had
had some other good
for 7
offensive games,
years.
but today you really had
Tonight was a step in the right
26.
direction, playing better in the second half, coming out on that 17-2 run, which that's a hard thing to do out of halftime, to come out and defend at the level that we did in the second to start the second half.
Against both their bigs.
Against Texas A&M, you had a halftime lead evaporate quickly in the second half tonight.
A lot of people have at Texas A&M. I don't think they've lost an SEC game. And the A&M game, we played really hard. Neither team could score down the stretch. It's not like they were, scoring at will the last 5 minutes. I mean, it was a real defensive, physical battle, and we missed some foul shots. And that team is 10-2 going into tonight. And we went on the road against
Jalen. Did you have a feeling coming in that this might be a game where you can exploit some matchups, or was it just you realized that once you got in the game and then flow of things?
We didn't play well enough against Mississippi State.
In my mind
but the Texas A&M game, our team played and gave everything they had, and we didn't win the game. And that happens when you're playing against a team that's 10-2 and hadn't lost
whole practice, whole week,
an SEC home game. So,
like,
but a good bounce back game for us for sure.
Just scoring the ball. I realized throughout the game when Jit Bull was guarding me, that I was like, okay.
Gave Nick the start today. He had 32 minutes. Just curious how you would assess his play, and then how important was it just to get those
Ricky,
minutes for him
it seemed to us like maybe Nick felt more in the flow, more comfortable tonight. What did you think of his performance? Did it seem like he's kind of meshing with y'all a little bit better now?
We try to have a reason for everything. We don't just roll the dice out on lineups and substitution patterns. We have a lot of non-contact practices for 8 years now.
Yeah, he definitely looked better out there tonight.
We have catapult numbers where the guys wear catapults, and you can distinguish
Jalen,
their energy,
how much you like
the
just
jumps
having so
they
much
have,
offense run through you today,
how many
like
miles
take
they
you
go
back
in
to
practice,
Arizona
and
State a little bit?
all those numbers go into effect on
I just want my
all
teammates
this
to
stuff,
feel
how we sub.
comfortable with me doing that.
We knew when
feel
Nick
like
came back,
as long as my teammates feel comfortable with me,
there's not a
being out
high
there
school
and,
player, there's not a college player, there's not an NBA player. There's a reason Major League Baseball, when guys are out extended periods of time, send them down to the minor leagues to get their rhythm and their timing. So we certainly felt with a basketball team and a program that does not go live and hasn't gone live, and it's because we want to be fresh in March. And so it's hard for Nick to play 3-on-3 post practice and get rhythm.
I guess
so
maybe for both of you guys, at
really
Texas
happy
A&M the other night, you had a decent
tonight.
halftime cushion and lost
happy
it there
how his
pretty quick to open the
teammates
second
responded
half.
with him, and he gives
You were
us
in
a
that
little bit of an
situation today,
edge.
and you went on a
He's competitive
17-2 run to start the second
he's
half.
verbal.
I guess what was the difference
and
in this one tonight, and then
I think
what
that helps
key to
us
success
tremendously.
there early in the second half? On the flip side, you brought Ricky off of the bench, and he had 15 and 7 for you. Just curious how you thought he responded to that. I assume well, and just your thoughts on what got him going tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's a scorer by nature, and certainly felt like he came in with the right mentality.
Most of the games that we lost, we were.
I mean, I'm old and old school.
We're not hitting through, so it's
we had
that was the key.
Everybody but two players
back
here.
Off what he just said, and when
way
first group came out, I just thought
earlier
the defensive intensity was just high.
Then report
a lot of steals, a lot of
we never have anybody late.
Cuts by Jordan. Jordan hit
being
a big 3.
Being 5 minutes early is late for us. I mean, we have never
just coming out there with a lot of energy in the second half instead of being sluggish.
Nothing practice, never, ever.
Jalen, what's the key
But
for you to
sometimes
put
guys
together,
come in,
back-to-back games like this
5
where you're
minutes, 6
active
minutes
scoring the
before
ball and
report
everything like
time.
that?
We had a
For
lot
me,
of
I
guys
just
here
gotta
real
keep getting
early.
in the gym
I can
and
tell you, Nick and
honestly,
AB were
like
here
just be
really
confident.
early. I
Just
can tell you
keep
Ricky was
going.
here really early, and so
you know, I'm not expecting
talked
another 26-point night or
the
doing this
70-minute
again. I
mark,
just want
or
to
80 minutes before
be an
tip-off.
offensive threat.
You know,
and
Ricky's approach
help
showing
my team
up
win. So
that
as long as I
early,
just
knowing he
continue to do
wasn't
that,
going to
What
start.
do you guys think of the rough start?
It
and the way
didn't
you
affect
guys
him at all.
responded
Jalen Mackay had a
offensively?
double-double
And that's
tonight.
what
Just
you
what did
want
you see
a
from his
player. I mean,
performance?
we're gonna.
Oh, yeah,
He knows the confidence that we have in him,
like,
and
he's just
I mean,
a
he played
monster, to be
32
honest.
minutes, and he
nothing,
deserved to.
nothing
And
new, nothing
you know,
different
that's
like Ricky said about
we
him.
need him to play well. How this
He's just
lineup
offensive
goes.
threat, defensive threat.
I got to dive into
He hit a
Georgia
jumper today.
and
He should,
look at
that's what he
matchups
does.
and
Rebound
see
on
if
the
we're
ball.
going to keep it
He
like
do
it is,
everything.
or if
So
we're going to change, or
I mean,
all
we
those
need him.
things. I think
And
with where
I
we
love
are
playing
right
with him
now,
while I'm
still
in the
need to
game, and
determine
his
how
brother
we
as
do
well.
it.
Jalen, you've
because,
obviously had some other good offensive games, but
they
today you really
roll,
had
and
it
I
going
give him
career
the
Looking at
ball, so
Makai's double-double
yeah,
along with the
great game.
numbers that Graham
What
put
was
up,
the difference for you
their
today?
rim
And
protection
your
coming in was
backcourt, is
cut
this the
in
most
half
balanced
with
offense
Castleton
you've had
out.
in a game since
Did you
maybe
guys talk about that
Sanders?
at halftime? It seemed like y'all really played
good.
above
Everybody
before
was
they got to it
available.
more in the second
But
half.
it kind of seemed that way.
I wanted your thoughts.
I think the flow offensively, Kevin was really good. I thought the defensive connectivity was really good tonight. I mean, there wasn't a lot of clean looks for for Florida. And,
same thing.
Quite frankly, they made 4 out of 21 from 3, and 2 of them were on me. And, I made the decision that 13 we were not going to.
Jalen, did you have a feeling coming
because
in that this might be a game where you can exploit some matchups, or was it just you realized that once you got in the game and in the flow of
our
things?
team,
Just
the guys in
I
the
was
locker room
confident
gave up
today.
2, and I gave up 2.
knew that.
So I thought
to
the
my mind,
following
it
the
was
game,
confidence.
playing
It was
defensive
just
rebounding,
confidence.
all
I
those
was
things,
confident
really
that
good.
my spots would just rise up.
The 6
Yeah,
blocks,
real good.
very
Today was just
important
a
from
good-
a
a
rim
good day, a
protection
good feeling.
standpoint.
And just
We've been
throughout
so
this whole
good
practice
blocking
all week,
shots
I was
all
just
year,
confident.
and that
Just felt like,
continued. And getting
having
8
hard
steals
and,
instead of 2 or
family
3. I
down
mean,
here
we
spend time
need
with them,
that
so.
activity
I
from a
realized
defensive
throughout the
standpoint
game
as
when
well.
Jitbull was guarding me, and I was
Anything
like,
in
okay,
particular
he
impressed
he
you
goes
about
bigger
Jalen
guys, so we
in
need
terms
this
of
win.
having
So
so
I got
much
the win.
offense
So
right
we got 4 more games that we need.
pretty patient.
get
Ricky,
wins to
it seemed to
I
us
thought
like
he
maybe
was
Nick
great,
felt
we
more
knew we
in the
needed
flow,
this
more
win, and,
comfortable
we
tonight.
got
What did
it.
you think of his
After,
performance?
too,
Did it
so,
seem like he's kind of meshing with y'all a little bit better now?
A little bit reluctant to double team JG just because he's got a really good feel.
But you knocked down 2.
And I
there
thought
at
he
the
had
end of
great
the half.
matchups for him to
How good
guard
did that
tonight.
feel?
And then
You're making the moves inside, but you hit a couple
plays
free throws too.
well defensively and blocks 2
just being
shots
confident for me with the
and
free throw
rebounds
shooting.
like he did
I just feel
tonight.
like
Certainly
the more I'm
such
able
a
to
gifted
get him
offensive
up,
player.
the more knock him down, just being
and we
confident
felt
in
like
game,
maybe
Jalen's
some free
his
throws.
foot
You know, I've
Curious
been
how much
I
you
don't
like
think I've
just
shot
having
that
so
many
much
free throws
offense
would
run
bother,
through you today,
33 a little
take
bit,
continue to
bother
just work on
Fudge
him
a little
off the
bit.
court, or not off the court, kind of, but just
Use his
like
shot
I just want my
fakes
teammates to feel
against Fudge
and
as well,
keep
so.
working on him, be confident. That's the main thing for me. Just
Coach, you
when I
mentioned
step
how
out
hard
there,
it is
know
to
that
come out
I'm
of
gonna
halftime and
go
put
with
together
me,
something
being
like a
out there and
17-2 run.
15
Just what
points,
actually allowed you
God,
to
and
do
10
that
shots,
hot
you just
start?
to do that.
Yeah, I just thought our
I
defense
really
was
not like I'm not like
elite.
maybe
score. Like
come
I
out
like
and
passing the
maybe
ball. Just
start
I gotta get in the
start
rhythm, the
the
flow. I gotta shift
second
the
half,
defense.
and then we were able
Once
to
I
get out and
start doing that,
transition a
once I
little bit.
continue to
And
do
I
that,
thought
see what my
that
teammates do too as well.
the
But
easy
once I
baskets
start
in
learning that
transition
more,
certainly
playing like
helped
that,
us
then
tremendously.
if they want me to
and then
be the
defensively,
key on the offense, and that's fine.
we didn't give up one
It's not
back
that big
door.
of a deal.
And
I
Florida's
just
a
wanna win,
heavy
really.
Princeton backdoor team.
I guess
so
maybe for both of you
you know, we
guys at
spent,
Texas A&M the other night, you had a
prep
decent
time on
halftime
no
cushion
backdoors and
and
no
lost it there
threes.
pretty quick to open the
I
second
don't know
half.
if I've ever coached a team that just
You were in that
we gave
situation
up
today, and you went on a
none
17
on a
to
team
2
that's
run
a
to start the
high-volume
second half. I
backdoor
guess
team,
what
and
was
as
the
I've
difference
mentioned,
in
the
this one
guys in
tonight,
uniform
and
only
then
gave
what
up
kind of
2
keyed the
threes,
success there early in the second half?
out of 19. So the 2 areas that were the biggest emphasis,
a lot of
they did a
energy.
phenomenal job.
We're scoring, but most importantly,
I think you guys start off 2 for 9, and then after that you shot nearly 70%.
Shooting and hitting threes.
What'd you think of the slow start, and then what got you guys going?
And
You know, to where you were shooting.
most of the games that
so
we
well.
lost, we were
Yeah, I don't want to
teams
think
that were
about the
hitting
slow
5, 6,
start
7 threes on this,
because
we're
it
not
was
hitting threes, so
painful.
it's gonna be hard for us to win, so.
we couldn't buy a basket.
Yeah, just
but I also
said
think
when,
that
first
you've
came
got
out,
to put it in
thought the defensive
perspective. I
intensity
mean,
was just high.
Ricky Council's
There's
been
a lot
one
of
of our
steals, a lot
premier
of
scorers.
cuts by
He's not
Jordan.
in the
Jordan had a big
starting
three, and
lineup.
had a big cut dunk. So
So I
just
think
coming
that,
out there with a lot of energy in the second half
it was
instead
to be
of being
expected.
sluggish. Just helped.
The changing of the lineup.
Jalen, what's the key for you to put together, back-to-back
maybe
games like this where you're active
a
scoring the
couple
ball and
extra
everything like
minutes
that?
to get in the flow.
For
and
me,
feel
I just got to
comfortable.
keep getting in the gym and
practically 70.
Honestly, like just be confident, just keep going.
Yeah, I thought pace of play, sharing the ball, not forcing shots. We ran a little bit more.
Just be an offensive threat and
we
help
were
my
able
team
to run
win.
our
So
man offense,
as long as I can just continue to do that, I'll be happy.
We were able to find the
Jalen
mismatches
Mackay had a
that we
double-double
wanted.
tonight. Just what did you see from his performance?
Oh yeah, like
we probably
Kai
ran
is
17 or 18 different sets
a monster,
tonight.
to be honest. Nothing new, nothing
We
different.
executed
like
him really well, and
he's just offensive threat,
when we're
defensive
able
threat.
to do that,
he
we're
hit
pretty
a jumper
good.
today. That's what he does. Rebounding the ball, he can do everything. So I mean, we need him, and I love playing with him while I'm in the game, and his brother as well. Because
I mean, I think that this game
they roll, and I can give him the ball.
was
He had a great
important
game.
to be able to get.
Their rim protection coming in was cut in half with Castleton out. Did you guys talk about that at halftime? It seemed like y'all really played above the rim and got to it more in the second half.
I feel like we've been talking about that all week.
Big games on the road and then a big one at home. So every game right now for the Razorbacks is
around 4 to 5 guards at times.
important.
We just had to attack the rim.
Him getting a little bit of rhythm and flow. It's a lot different than playing 3-on-3.
Yeah, same thing. We've been talking about it since he got injured.
You talked about
just
this kind of
racking the
Super
ball
Bowl games. Really couldn't afford to lose.
To the rim because they're down.
And you won. You're up by 25 at one point. Just how good it feel not just to win, but to win.
We just attacked the rim.
Convincingly, and kind of feel. Yes, for both guys.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were flying around. We were
Kentucky. Just how good it feel to get back home, and,
diving on the floor, getting loose balls. The guys were having fun. They were competing.
Just how good did this win feel today? To not just win, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's really important.
Pretty much a must-win for you all.
Now the level of maturity coming back and understanding how well Georgia has played and how improved they are, and
just happy we got to win.
Understanding
down here, spend time with them,
Roberts is a really good scorer, and understanding that Bridges can really score with his back to the basket.
Make it to the tournament. We needed this win.
Quindo is one of the best transition players in the SEC. So we got a lot of things to go through.
We knew we
in a short
needed
amount
this
of
win.
time and getting ready
I'm happy
for
we got it, but
Georgia,
and
this game's behind us, and now you've got to focus on the next game on your schedule.
Coach, was this a game that you knew coming in that you might be able to lean on Graham more than usual, or was it something you realized after you got into the flow of the game?
No,
how good did that feel?
I didn't know what he was going to do.
I mean, you're breaking the moves inside, but you hit a couple free throws too.
Threw it in there.
Just being confident for me with the free throw shooting. I just feel like
matchups.
The more I'm able to, get them up, the more I'll knock them down. Just being confident in game,
younger
free throws.
player,
I don't think I've shot that many free throws
13
as much as I
has
did
not
last year.
played
Just,
much, and 33.
Just continue to just work on them.
We just
off the
felt
court,
like Jalen's footwork would be a problem for
in
them.
practice.
How much is it just matchups,
keep
or is
working
it
on them, be
just
confident.
in order for him to kind of put back-to-back games together like this? Is it matchups, or is it do the other things, rebounding, defending, things like that?
I think it's all encompassing. He went 2 for 2 from the foul line.
Help you settle in a little bit.
Huge because he was batting 3-3-3. He had a heck of a batting
trying
average.
to get back in my groove.
At the foul line, so
lost a friend the other day. That's kind of been on my mind lately.
It's everything. It's close games, making free throws. It's rebounding your position. It's
getting back in the groove.
Offensively, Jalen is, and he's got a great attitude too. He just we need him to rebound because in this league, every night, I mean the rebounding is so vital. But he's done a great job working. I've been on him about the free throws pretty hard, and I thought he did a good job tonight converting the ones he had.
We didn't even ask you about Anthony. Maybe we're just so conditioned to him filling up the box score. What did you think of his game? And then after that, Mackay had a double-double. What did you think of his game? Yeah, for sure. Anthony Black, phenomenal. I thought that the steal in the backcourt late in the game, he's starting to get a lot lower defensively. That's something that we've talked about. I brought up the catapult numbers. The last 2 days have been his highest in probably 2 months as far as he's really working defensively because he's an elite defender. We just need him to get a little bit lower. And I thought his ball pressure at half court was probably the best that he's had all season long. And I thought he played offensively competent as well. I liked the shot selection, his ability to draw free throws attempted. And then Mackay did a phenomenal job as a rim roller, did a great job being in the dunker spot, having his hands ready to catch and flush on any dump-off passes. So, his plus-minus, really good, and his rebounding really good.
Seems like going back to Kentucky, Mackay, maybe Mikkel, stepping up and taking some mid-range shots. Seems like AB is taking some mid-range shots, and they're having a little success. Is this something y'all are talking about? If the defense is going to play off even guys, if it's not necessarily their comfort zone, going ahead and
yeah, I mean, I think that, maybe at times we've been a little bit reluctant to take open shots, and that actually hurts your offensive flow. All the analytics guys will tell you that a mid-range shot's the worst shot in basketball. The good thing is they're not on our staff, and when you're and most of those guys, by the way, have never dribbled a basketball, called a timeout. When you grow up, if you're over the age of 55, the mid-range shot was the best shot in basketball, and you watch old NBA games, and that's all people shot, and a 15-foot wide-open shot should be a good shot. Again, regardless of what those guys that went to high academic institutions that are statisticians or whatever you call them.
All right, so we'll turn it over. Take questions on Georgia real quick.
Before that, you said a bunch of guys were here early. What is report time today on a 1 p.m. tip?
Yeah, we're a little bit earlier than most people. It's an hour and 35 before. An hour and a half is usually early. We had guys well over 2 hours here early, and we had we met this morning at 9. So obviously the report time couldn't be here any later than 11:20 or whatever it was today, and we had guys well before 11. I promise you.
You're talking about reporting to the arena, the locker room stuff. Yeah.
Butts in the chairs, not walking in.
Yeah, I guess.
Or on the floor, preferably.
Yeah, I guess Georgia's playing Alabama tonight, so that's an easy chore for them. But this is going to be your second Saturday, Tuesday turn. But the first time you did was back-to-back road games. Now it's back-to-back home games. How different is that?
Well, I think when you eliminate the travel, it's better. But I mean these guys are so used to playing AAU games where they're playing 5 games in a day, and
Not a big deal then.
I hope not.
Okay. And hopefully it'd be better for you not having to travel. But and then Georgia, obviously they had a horrible year last year. They're much more competitive this year. What have you seen from Georgia? What do you think about the job Mike White's doing?
I think Mike's done a great job, phenomenal job. Their players look like they're having fun. Hill's giving them a lift at the guard position. They went out and got 6 transfers. Those guys have all they've contributed. Moncrief's an athletic player that gets off the floor extremely quick, and I mentioned Bridges with his back to the basket, with using his left hand, once in a while using the right hand. On that right block, he's really good going middle. And then Roberts is a guy that can really, really score the basketball. And Akindo, probably the biggest recruit that Coach White had was getting Akindo back after he was in the portal. So Bridges and Akindo, 2 guys that obviously played for Coach Crean, and then you add in the fact that they did a good job in the portal of getting guys that play extremely hard, and they've done a great job. I mean, you look at the total wins. They've won some big SEC games, and I think he's done as good a coaching job as anybody in the league, quite frankly.
Eric, I know Florida didn't have Castleton today, but what were you most encouraged by on the defensive end, and then how might you bottle this and take it into a short turnaround?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been under the belief that each game has its own identity, and the magic dust from tonight's not gonna be sprinkled into our bloodlines come Tuesday. I mean, every game's got its own flow. Every game's got 3 runs. Can we control 2 of the 3 runs? We're one of the best. I mean, every time we do a prep, we talk about how good another team's defense is, and I told our team earlier today, like everyone's talking about our defense too. I mean, our defensive numbers are phenomenal, and I thought we did another great job defensively, and we're gonna have to guard Georgia, a team that'll get out in transition, and like I said, they have guard play. They got guys like
you know, Abdul Rahim that can make threes coming off the bench, and so we have our work cut out for us.